Warning. This is not a safe space. Leave your bullshit and feelings at the door.
I think I finally understand what it means to be part of the MeToo movement. Because this past weekend, I was sexually assaulted. I'm going to tell you all about it.
It's time for the most raw and unfiltered experience on the internet. So kick your feet up and grab a cold one. You have just entered the Man Cave. And now, here they are, winners of the self-proclaimed International Greatest Men Alive Award, Brad and Terry.
Hey, thanks for joining us here in the Man Cave. I'm Brad.
And I am Terry.
And make sure to check us out online over on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, YouTube, and also now on Spotify.
Yeah.
But if you want the full no bullshit experience and the ability to win prizes, you're going to have to subscribe to us over on Patreon, and we'll talk about that here in a minute.
Well, I say we talk about it now because it's getting close to crunch time on getting that UKEG.
It is. I think a lot of people just kind of think we're bullshitting on that one.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, thousands of people see the pictures that we post,
right,
and people have liked the picture. But, I mean, right now, you got about a 1 in 10, 1 in 11 chance at winning a $150 growler.
Yeah, I'd be all in.
I would, too, for only $1.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
But anyway,
Yeah.
what are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking the Curmudgeon's Better Half Old Ale by the Founders Brewing Company, brewed in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yummy, yummy.
So I need to hear a little more about Terry's Me Too movement that was going on.
Yeah, so first of all, I'm going to start off by saying I didn't make a scene out of this when it happened. But I kind of looked at it in hindsight and said, man, I really should have. But then what would have happened went through my mind. So we'll start at the beginning. I was in line at Chick-fil-A with a friend, and the line was very, very long, and there is this unattractive woman in line behind us. And don't get me wrong, this would have gone very differently if she was an attractive woman. But me and my friend are talking, and she's kind of eavesdropping on our conversation, throwing a word in here and there, and I'm already irritated with her because of that, right? And a couple minutes go by, and she looks at me, and she says, "Excuse me, I just want to see something," grabs my chest, and says, "I just wanted to see if your pecs were hard."
Who the fuck does that?
Right? And in the moment, I didn't say a word. Right? And then we ordered our food. Me and my friend sat down, and he looks at me. He goes, "Man, you must be flattered." And I was like, "Actually, no, I'm pretty fucking annoyed." And he's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, think of if that happened the other way. If I went up to her and I was like, "Excuse me, I just want to see something." And then I grabbed her tits, and I was like,
"Oh yeah,
I just want to see if these are soft." Right?
I want to see how nice your fun bags feel.
The whole place would have been an uproar.
Oh, yeah.
And then I thought, like, man, I really should have made a scene. But what would have happened, let's flip it around. Let's say that I grabbed her tits, and what would the whole place have done?
Okay. You would have, the whole place would have been completely offended.
Yeah.
That you would have dared do it.
Yes.
She would have called the cops.
Mm-hmm.
The video cameras that I guarantee are in the restaurant.
Yep.
The footage would have been pulled. They would have proved that you done it. And you would have been handcuffed, arrested, thrown in jail for sexual assault and you probably would have been charged with being a sexual offender.
Yes.
And put on a national registry, and you can't live within certain distance of schools and parks and playgrounds for the rest of your life.
And if I wasn't surrounded by a bunch of beta males, which I was, I probably would have got my ass beat, because I know if it was me and somebody did that,
yeah,
they'd be getting put the fuck down.
Yeah.
Now, let's flip it around. She grabs me. Mm-hmm. I make a scene. Let's say I made a scene. What would everybody's reaction have been? They would have told me to sack the fuck up.
Yep.
Because I'm a man. It's a double standard. And it really irritated me. Because if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, why is it different when it happens to a man vice happening to a woman? I was sexually assaulted.
Yeah, by the definition, you were.
Yeah. Did it really bother me? No. Because I'm not a pussy. But if I wanted it to, it could have. I could have made a huge scene right there.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of part of the stigma by saying I'm not a pussy?
Right.
By other men, but we're saying other men who are who claim sexual assault are just pussies.
Now, if she would have grabbed me like somewhere else, like if she would have grabbed my dick, that would have been way different, right? Like I would have made a scene. Like I don't advocate hitting women, but she would have got a little bit of force back at her at that point.
Yeah.
So
Chris Rock once said, "I'll never hit a woman, but I'll shake the shit out of one."
Yeah, man. So I just think that it's a double standard. I don't think that there's anything that can be done about it. I think it's just a product of society and the way that things operate now, to where a man who claims to be sexually assaulted is not going to really be taken seriously.
Yeah, even your friend didn't take it seriously.
Yeah, he looked at me and said, "You should be flattered."
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you should be just rolling like on seventh heaven, cloud nine, because a woman admired your body. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's okay to admire each other's bodies,
right?
But to go so far as to touch the other person, and she didn't do it she did it in a very like joking, but she did it just to cop a feel.
Yeah,
because you said she probably wasn't the most attractive of women,
right? Maybe
she's never been with a man who is as manly as Terry is.
Oh, now I'm flattered.
So, but it's to say, like, I'm not the most handsome of men, and I'm not saying I've ever slept with supermodels, but if I seen a very, very attractive woman, I would never, ever dream of thinking, like, well, why don't I just strike up, join in her conversation with her friend, and at some moment be like, hey, I want to see if these are soft, and grab her tits.
Yeah.
Just because I think you're attractive, and I just kind of want to cop a quick feel.
Right.
No harm, no foul, you know what I mean? Just, I just want to touch your tits real quick.
Right. Now, I
That's
also...
why we go to the strip clubs.
Exactly. Oh, don't get me started. I love those places. But I will say that I think a large majority of women would not do this.
No.
But the fact that it happened, right? I'm not going to sit here and blame women. Yeah. Right? Because men get blamed for this, as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and blame women. This person was completely out of line, and I almost wish I would have made a scene to see what would have happened.
At least call her out on her bullshit.
Yeah.
On the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Turn it around on her and tell her, what would you do if I just grabbed your tits for no reason other than I want to see how soft they feel.
Right.
Ugh. Ugly women. I bet she had big ones too.
I mean, they were of decent size.
Because you know what they say,
Well, she was wearing. So I don't know exactly how unattractive she was, but she had really big glasses on inside, which was weird in the first place.
Oh, like
right?
Sunglasses?
Yeah, and I call it the big glasses effect.
Yeah.
Right. And it's when girls cover like 80% of their face with giant sunglasses because that section of the face is so important for your level of attractiveness. So I always feel like a chick wearing really big sunglasses is trying to hide something. So I automatically assume they're unattractive. But I could tell from the 20% that was actually showing that she wasn't of my standard.
Maybe she had done it before. Maybe she has a pair of Irish sunglasses from another man giving it to her, so she put the sunglasses over the Irish sunglasses to cover her up.
Yeah, but man, it was just it was an experience. But
speaking of getting your ass kicked,
oh no,
great segue into 2 weeks ago we thought you had it locked in, but the last 2 weeks hasn't been very good for you.
So the Dolphins are screwing me because they're playing well for a majority of their games, but then of course when I go to pick one of their games, they don't play so good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm done picking with my heart. But on the topic of me consistently losing my picks, I am specifically trying to pick tough games.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make an excuse for it. I suck at this, obviously, but I am picking tough games. And let's talk about the tough games I'm picking this week.
Okay.
We've got The late game on Sunday is my first one that I'm going into, and that's the Vikings at the Bears. And, man, the Vikings are good. Don't have a very good running game, though, from what I've seen. And the Bears are pretty well-rounded, and I think that the Bears are going to take it. So it's more of a safe pick taking the Bears, if you ask me, but I need the W at this point, right? But the real game to watch this week is the Monday night game, and that is the Chiefs at the Rams. Both teams are 9-1, best two teams in the league right now, if you ask me, and it's going to be an awesome game. You don't want to miss this one. The only thing that's got me kind of sketched out about the Chiefs is their defense. They're not the best. Actually, they're kind of more towards the worst, but their offense is fucking killing it. But I think the Rams are a little bit more of a well-rounded team. They excel in every area, and I mean both teams are great, but I still think that the Rams are gonna take this one. I think they're gonna be able to put up just too many points against this defense. And like we said last week, the team that scores the most points is probably gonna win the game.
John Madden, fucking thought process right there. So do you think that these two teams are going to be Super Bowl bound?
I definitely think that it's possible for both these teams to end up there. I don't know if we'll see them play against each other. The weakness of the Chiefs defense, I think, is going to maybe hinder them once they get into playoff time. But I mean, you're definitely going to see both teams through the playoffs.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, the Rams definitely have what it takes to take it all the way, and so do the Chiefs. They do, but there's a lot of good teams out there this year. You know, you can't forget about the New Orleans Saints, and of course the Patriots are always going to be in the running, and it's going to be tough. I still think it's too early to call any kind of Super Bowl contenders because it's really a toss-up at this point when so many teams are still in the running in terms of playoffs and all that. But as we get closer, I'll make a prediction for that. Because if I can't predict two teams who are scheduled to play against each other, how can I predict what teams are going to be in the Super Bowl?
All you really have to say is whoever can consistently, repeatedly score the most points over their opponents will probably make it to the Super Bowl.
Whoever doesn't lose in the playoffs is going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% true. Ooh. So how'd your fantasy team go?
Good. I won. But, man, it was close. I won on Monday night. So I'm sitting there on the edge of my seat. I won by 2 points. And it was at the end, so I'm like I'm shitting myself like, "Oh man, am I going to lose this game?" But I ended up pulling it out with 2 points above my opponent. So that was good. And
hey, you scored the most points, so you won your fantasy week.
Yeah, it was great. There
you go. Yeah, that's all you got to do.
Yeah, it's great philosophy. You know, I should be an NFL coach.
Yeah. Just tell your quarterback, go score points.
Yeah, if you score more points than the other team, we're gonna win.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What other
100% of the time?
What other pep talk do you need? My old football coach, my defensive coordinator, used to say, if they don't score, we don't lose. And I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Brilliance. Okay, speaking of scoring a lot of points, we'll switch over to the sport that actually scores a lot of points.
Oh, please.
Talk a little college basketball. Right. So before I get into my picks, my 2 picks for the week, I'm going to continue to be amazed and obsessed with one kid in college basketball still.
Yeah.
Holy shit. He just put on another dunk show for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, they played Eastern Michigan and smashed them for 38.
Okay.
But the one thing that I will say that I believe it was R.J. Barrett, they held him to 3 points. So, you know, it goes to show that the other two guys, Zion Williamson, they're just that good.
Right.
But if you can hold one of them to low points and get a couple into foul trouble early, I think that they're going to have a tough time. I think you could actually be competitive against them because right now the way they're looking, there isn't anybody right now that I think is on their level yet.
Okay.
Still, of course, there's still months of college basketball to play.
Right.
Duke is in the ACC, one of the toughest conferences in the nation, so they're going to get some good tests thrown at them. But back to the actual picks that I made, right? So number 8, Villanova, they actually lost to Michigan. I picked them, but they lost to Michigan and pretty well got spanked by Michigan. Michigan beat them 73-46, and they're ranked number 18 right now. I see them pushing up to 15 or so in the top 25. And then the other game was Indiana versus Marquette at home. I went with my heart with this one.
Yep.
And at least my heart did not distrust me this week.
Lucky you.
Yeah, it was a absolutely awesome game to watch. They beat Marquette at home 96-73. Marquette was ranked number 24. And honestly, IU has not been playing that bad. I had my reservations at watching the first couple games, kind of, are they how well are they actually going to play? They struggled last year. This is the second season for Archie Miller as their head coach, but they came out against Marquette, and I'll tell you the reason they won in that game so easily by 23 was their defense. They have 100% stepped up their defense. If they don't score,
you don't lose.
You don't lose. They won't win. And
right.
I believe it was Bob Knight also said, offense wins games.
Defense wins championships.
Defense will win the championship.
Yep.
So they have some tests coming up that are going to be really tough. Like I think I alluded to last week or a couple weeks ago when we started. They played Duke in the ACC Big Ten Challenge, and they played Duke at Duke. Yeah. So that's going to be a really tough game for them. They're going to be outsized a lot, but as long as they keep steady, I think they'll have a pretty solid season because they have some decent depth on their bench as well. That's going to be able to give them a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
So, but I'll move on to this week. And so usually I pick 2 games.
Uh-huh.
But I'm going to pick more than 2 games.
Okay.
Because this week, starting on the 19th on Monday, starts the Maui Invitational out in Hawaii. And there's 8 teams that are going out there this year. You got Gonzaga, Illinois, Duke, SDSU, San Diego State, Arizona, and Iowa State.
Okay.
Are the 8 teams going out to play. Oh, excuse me, and Auburn and Xavier. Those are your 8 teams going out there, right? You got Gonzaga is number 3, Duke is number 1, Auburn is number 9 right now. So 3 top 10 teams going out to play in Hawaii.
Awesome.
Neutral courts for everybody.
Yeah.
All right, we'll start with it. We'll start with this. I think it's gonna come. I think Gonzaga's gonna beat Illinois. I think Duke is gonna beat SDSU.
Yep.
I think Auburn, number 9, is gonna take Xavier. But I'm gonna say for Arizona, Iowa State, when you look at who they've played, Arizona has not been tested. They haven't played anybody decent at all. They've played 3 games. All 3 are cupcakes.
Okay.
So where Iowa State has played Missouri. Now, Missouri isn't the toughest team out there. They're not in the top 25, but they are an SEC team. And that's like saying, like Illinois. Illinois is in the Big Ten. Big Ten conference is always competitive.
Right.
Lots of teams are always, may not be ranked, but they're super competitive.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Iowa State is going to take Arizona. So now we're down to Gonzaga and Iowa State, Duke and Auburn. Gonzaga's going to take Iowa State. Duke is taking Auburn. I don't see it being. If you haven't picked up on what I'm putting down yet,
Duke's the one to beat.
Duke is not stopped. But I think this is the first time that Duke is going to get a legitimate test.
Okay.
Well, I did also think that was going to happen when they played Kentucky.
And then they almost won by 40 points.
And they smashed Kentucky. So hopefully Gonzaga understands what they're dealing with. But and this is one thing I also have loved about college basketball, especially this season, is there are so many excellent games going on so early in the season. And you have so many rivalry games happening where they're top 25 teams, years ago, I remember watching college basketball, and it was literally until you got into conference play, you might have one test.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was just, it's like a birthday. You're just eating cupcakes all day. But now they're being challenged more and more frequently, and I think that's good for college basketball and for these kids to actually, and it's going to define who your top tier teams really, really are early on and see how they progress. So I think it's really good for college basketball. And the last thing I'll leave with is when I was researching, trying to find who all was playing, what the bracket, because I could find the teams, but I was trying to find how the teams were laid out in the Maui Invitational bracket.
Yeah.
So I could, try to pick who's playing who in the next round.
Right.
I came across an article by Matt Norlander. He writes for CBS, and he had Gonzaga taking it all.
Okay.
And I was like,
did he say why?
Well, he did, because he didn't trust, that he said the Duke freshmen were young, and Gonzaga had more experience.
Okay.
And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, have you watched a game? Like, you write for CBS, on the topic of college basketball.
Yeah.
Have you lived in a cave the last couple weeks and not watched an actual game with Duke? And then I realized the article was written in July.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking, is he smoking something?
Yeah.
Or does he know something? Like, what the hell? Scroll all the way back up. July. Okay, that's why. You haven't watched them yet. Because I would hope he would go back and rewrite that article. Editor's note. I have now changed my pick and believe Duke is going to smash everybody.
So you don't think, the level of Gonzaga's play is still always very, very good.
Yes.
You can't count them out.
I don't count them out, but I look at it how I looked at the Kentucky game.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be very competitive.
Yeah.
I just don't think anybody's going to be able to shut old boy down.
Okay.
It's going to be hard.
That's what she said.
Fucking monster. That too. He's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
All right. So our last topic, we kind of talked about this for a hot second. I sent you the article the other day.
Yeah, I didn't read the article, though.
You didn't have to. I think you just read the caption.
As most articles you send me, I don't read. But
I expect that you don't read hardly anything I sent, because usually the title of the article
says it all.
Says it all.
Yeah.
And it was the article that said the Victoria's Secret little, the what do they call that?
What, like the fashion show?
Yeah, the fashion show, the lingerie fashion show that the executives at Victoria's Secret would like to incorporate a transgender into it.
Okay, I have many questions.
I don't know if I can answer them, but let's go. Let's run with this.
Okay. First of all, this is a transgender who is a man.
Yes.
Was born a man.
Born biologically a man who now has a cooter.
Okay, so he would have removed his penis.
Or he's got a bunch of duct tape on that motherfucker taping it up. Or
I guess if you tuck it right.
Yeah, tuck back or tape up, however you do it.
That scene from Silence of the Lambs where he's got it tucked in between his legs. Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
Have you ever done that before?
Of course I have.
So if there are any women listening to this, obviously you've never tucked your dick and balls behind you.
Hey, in today's world, you don't know.
True. But I guarantee if you're dating a man or if you are married to someone, at some point in their life, they have tucked their dick and balls between their legs. And I just want to let you ladies know that if you get your dick right next to your nut in the right spot, swear to God, looks like a vagina. It does. It does. I can do it, and I can make it look like a vagina. Got a funny story about a dude tucking it back.
Anyway.
Making a fake vagina.
Let's go back to the oh-so-wholesome topic of transgenders.
Back on topic.
Here's a question for you.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
How much money would it take?
A lot.
Oh, so there is a price.
I guess. A price and a lot of booze.
Yeah?
So I know, though. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, then probably not, because then I know I'm just fucking a dude.
Right. You know, the saying I have is, if the pussy stays dry, she used to be a guy. But here's the thing, man. I don't remember what show did this, I want to say it was like one of those Jerry Springer type shows.
Oh, I think I know what you're about to say.
And they brought out all these chicks, and they were like, can you guess which ones are actually dudes? And let me tell you, man, I didn't want to play. I did not.
Nope.
Because I knew the hottest ones were dudes.
Oh, yeah.
I knew it.
And that's why I am in favor of Victoria's Secret throwing a transgender in there. Because it's not going to be your average, like, yesterday I just decided.
It'll be the hottest dude out there.
Ever known. And all these dudes who watch this frickin' runway show of these girls in lingerie are going to have to play that game of, she looks hot, but she could be a guy.
Oh, my God.
Are you willing to take the risk and think it's hot, not knowing? I mean, some guys are.
I mean, so you're saying like I'm at a bar?
No, I'm just saying in general, if you're clicking through and you're watching the Victoria's Secret lingerie runway show, and most dudes watch that because it's a free opportunity to watch hot chicks with big tits and nice asses.
Nowadays, you don't need to watch that.
I know. There's so many other options out there.
Oh.
I'm just saying, let's say you're 60, 70, you don't do computers very well, and it's on.
Yeah.
You're going to watch it.
Right.
But now you have to play the game of she's hot, but was she always a she?
Man, I don't think I would watch it.
No, I won't.
No.
Not at all.
No.
All right. Well, so as we head out, we got to do our due diligence. Let's say thanks to our patrons. We have Lance, Alex, Rachel, Zach with a K, Zach with an H, Mark, Curtis, Martin, Jay, Jeremy, and Rudamac. So, hey, we also have some good swag that's going to be coming out at I'd say maybe around the beginning of the new year. We'll start rolling a few pieces out that we've got in the works.
Yeah, we'll send the koozies out in January for sure.
Oh, yeah. We haven't actually said that we have koozies, have we?
Well, we got the multicolored ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have all black ones too, and we'll start sending those out.
Yeah.
And then again, don't forget the UKEG, the growler.
Yeah.
I don't know why more people aren't jumping on that, but
hey, that's okay. It just all those people we just mentioned ups their chances.
Yep,
they're happy.
Yeah, if I was one of them, I'd keep my mouth shut. But don't forget to follow us on Facebook at the Official Man Cave Podcast, over on Twitter at the Man Cave 14, on Instagram at the Man Cave Podcast, and over on YouTube. But if you want the full no save space, no bullshit experience, and the ability to win all kinds of prizes like that UKEG, check us out and subscribe to us over on Patreon. Right now we're running the special for only $1. You're going to get the Man card, which is made of metal, got the Man Cave logo on it, and it seconds as a bottle opener.
And it fits in your wallet.
Perfectly in your wallet.
Yeah, it's great.
In any wallet, you have a bottle opener no matter where you go.
Yep.
Like every man should. Right? And then, again, you're going to get that entered in the prize to win the 64-ounce stainless steel growler and all kinds of other prizes that we come up with to give away. All right? Again, for just $1, that's a $140 pressurized growler. For $5 a month, you're going to get entered in to win all the prizes. After the new year, that $1 for the Man card is going to go away, and you're going to have to bump it up to $5 if you want it. And you'll get exclusive access to special podcast episodes. Terry's going to shit himself over there before we go. Exclusive access to tell us what you want us to talk about and give us feedback on topics from every podcast. But hey, don't shit your pants and you don't have to go home, but you can't stay with us. We'll see you next time here in the Man Cave.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Any real man would follow us on Patreon for exclusive content and prizes at patreon.com/The Man Cave Podcast. The Man Cave. No safe spaces, no bullshit.